life, sweet life, sweet life, sweet life.
Hi guys, and welcome back. So today I'm going to show you how I decorate sugar cookies with fondant. And if you've been watching my videos, you know I've already did a video on my sugar cookie recipe, which is really simple. I will link it below. So I've already made my recipe, and I baked these and I cut them out, and now they're ready to decorate. I'm also going to show you how I do this bib cookie with the 2 holes in it. So stay tuned. We're going to get started. So these are the colors that we're going to be using, which is a baby pink, a white, and like a tan. So first we're going to start off by rolling out the fondant, and we're going to use the exact same cookie cutters for the cookies for the fondant, so they will match up perfectly. So to stick the fondant to the sugar cookies, I'm going to use a Wilton pre-made cookie icing. I like to use this because I don't have to actually make royal icing. It's like a thicker version of a royal icing. Like, I don't actually like it to decorate cookies. Like, if you wanted to actually use it to decorate like a royal icing cookie, I like to make my own royal icing if I'm going to do that. But I love it for this step because it's ready made. You can close it and seal it up. It's, you know, ready to go anytime you want to use it. It's basically just a sugar paste almost. But yes, I keep that on hand, and it's very convenient when I'm doing my sugar cookies topped with fondant. So for this next bib cookie, I want you to pay close attention, because exactly how I cut the fondant is how I cut the cookie. So I use my orange circle cutter, and this was a stack set that I'll link below. So I cut the circle out first, and then I use a smaller circle and I cut a portion out to make it look like a bib. If you already have a bib cookie cutter, then you can just use that. I don't actually have one, so I make my own. So here I'm just gonna put a little bit of the cookie icing, and this is gonna be a cookie that I'm just gonna spell baby on. I don't even know what cookie cutter this is. I think it was from my Halloween set. I never figured out what it is, so I always use it just to do words. Okay, so for the bib cookie, I'm going to start out with a circle, and then I'm going to take the smaller cookie cutter and just cut a little portion off, you see, to make it into a bib, as you can see. And then this is the exact same thing I did with the cookie dough. So then I'm going to take number 2 piping tip, and make sure you give yourself enough room. Don't get too close to the edge. And you're going to want to line those holes up when you place the fondant on top of the cookie. You want to line it up with the holes from the cookie. So if you were doing this with the cookie dough, it will be the exact same. You would use the orange cutter to cut the cookie, and then the smaller one to get the little curve in it, and I use the exact same piping tip to get the holes. So when I put the fondant on top of it, I'm just going to line up those holes, because we're going to put ribbon through those holes later to make it into an actual bib. And here I'm just rubbing a little shortening on my fondant. If you find that your fondant is a little dry, I just take a little bit of shortening like a Crisco or something, and just give it a nice rub, and then I actually roll it out. This is why I like this mat, because it's a non-stick mat. If you watch my what I got for Christmas video that I'll link below, you'll see that I got this mat for Christmas, and it's actually a sewing mat, but it is awesome, guys. Like, I've used my scalpel, my knife, all kind of tools on it, and it have not put any dents, any cuts, anything. I've used red food coloring, gold luster dust on it, and it wipes right off. So this is my new favorite mat. Okay, so you see how the teddy bears came out. So now these are all the fondant details that I went ahead and made off camera just to save some time. So on this little cookie, I'm going to spell out baby, which I did in pink fondant. And this is the mold that I used. I will link that mold below as well. So I'm going to spell out baby on the little cookie that we don't know what shape it is. And then after that, you'll see some bows that I made with a bow mold, and some baby feet that I made with a baby feet mold. And then you'll also see some circles that I cut out with some of my tips. And then I cut some of them in half, and I cut out a strip for the actual rattle cookie. So you'll just see me placing those same those shapes on top of the fondant, the first fondant layer that we put on those cookies. So an interesting fact is that this rattle cookie mold that I'm actually using is not actually a rattle. It's a snowman, but I use it upside down. Like, yeah, it didn't look like a snowman. It came in my Christmas set, and I actually do it upside down and turn it into a rattle, but it's not actually a rattle cookie cutter. It's a snowman. So the details that I'm placing on top of the teddy bear, that fondant is actually just a little bit lighter than the bottom tan, just a tad bit. I took some of the tan that I had already made, which was just white fondant with like 2 drops of brown food coloring. And then to do the details on the teddy bear, I actually mixed that with a little bit more white just to get a little bit lighter than the actual tan that's on the bottom. So if you're going to try to achieve this teddy bear cookie, just to let you know that those tans are not exactly the same. The details on top are a little bit lighter, and you can see all the details I made with just circle, my circle piping tip. So you can see for the baby bib cookie that the holes go all the way through because I lined them up, and I just took a pink edible marker and just drew some little flowers for a simple detail. Very easy. So here I'm using my decorating tool to just create a line down the middle of the teddy bear's face, as you can see here. And then I'm going to be taking a black edible marker and just doing two little dots for the eyes and then a small little heart for the nose. So the last little detail I'm going to do is the bows that we made. I'm going to put those around the teddy bear's neck, and they just came out so cute, didn't they? So now for the bib cookie, as you can see, I just added a letter J because the baby's name starts with a J. But we're going to use some really thin ribbon that I got from the craft store, and we're just going to actually take that ribbon through the holes in the cookie. And as you can see, I was just trying to do it regular, but it didn't work. So I'm actually using a toothpick to help push the ribbon through those holes. And then we're going to line the ribbon up, and we're actually going to tie it into a bow. But you have to be very careful with this step. You can't pull the ribbon too tight because you will break your cookie. So you have to be very careful when you're tying this ribbon into a knot, or I'm sorry, into a bow for this step. And I just trimmed the ends of the ribbon and tightened the bow a little bit. How cute is that? It's the cutest little cookie. Everybody always goes crazy over those. And there we have it. This is our little set. Aren't they just the cutest little cookies? And they're really easy for a beginner who's not really comfortable with royal icing. So I hope you guys give these a try. I will need you to like, comment, and most of all, subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys.